Last week was a very special week. This box arrived at my doorstep. And you're maybe like, big deal, it's a club box. What's so special about that? Well, if you look up here, that's a collection of driver heads since 2012. They're all tailor-made golf clubs. I turned pro playing Titleist. I received Titleist golf clubs. Played for 10 years with tailor-made golf clubs. This box right here is the first box to arrive on my doorstep that isn't or wasn't a tailor-made golf club. In that box was a Srixon ZX7 Mk II driver. In the last few years, a lot of the friends I've come to make in this game are actually guys that play Srixon golf clubs on tour. Brett Druitt in particular, one of my best friends, neighbors, you've seen him on the channel quite a bit. He's a Srixon guy. Well, I'm impressed with how he drives it. I'm impressed with that ball flight, that piercing, penetrating ball flight. So I reached out to Srixon, and Srixon sent me this and said, Andrew, tell the world what you think about our brand new driver. So that is what we're gonna do in this video. A little bit of a fitting review and just overall a first impression of the Srixon ZX7 Mk II. To be honest, I know nothing about Srixon golf clubs. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you all the rigmarole because I just don't know. If I were to just read about them, I would guess the ZX5 LS is probably the best driver for me because I am a higher spinning guy, but I watched a review on YouTube and apparently the ZX7 Mk II is actually their lower spinning head. Visually though, this thing is a very beautiful driver. They sent it to me with their stock option hazardous shaft, but luckily one of my good friends is a Srixon guy, so he's got lots of shafts with Srixon sleeves in them. So I've grabbed one of Brett's Ventus Blues from last year because I've gamed the Ventus Blue over the course of the years. I'm gonna go through a little bit of a fitting process here in the studio, and then we're gonna go out on the golf course and just give you what I think of it. I'm not just gonna stand here and beat balls and give you a number after each reading because I think that's incredibly boring and it doesn't give you the full picture. So I'm gonna give you some of the data that I was getting as I was kind of fitting myself into this driver with the two shaft options I have. I do swing it so much slower inside. Even when I think I'm cranking it inside, I can barely get it above 111 miles per hour. And that's basically like a slow warm-up swing on the driving range. I kind of cruise at about 116, 117. So take all that into consideration, but you're seeing the launch, the spin a little bit high, but that could be a lot with the fact that I just get stuck on the right side. But I'm learning, I'm watching these shots and I'm learning from them. I'm paying attention to all this data, but I know it's about 70 to 80% of reality. With the hazardous though, I just found it spun a little bit too much and the high right miss was happening too often. So I switched into Ventus Blue and it launched a little bit higher, but the spin came down a little bit. So again, I'm taking that into consideration, tweaking it a little bit, brought the loft down a little bit. I like the launch characteristics. The spin was up just a little bit. So I'm learning from all of this. I grabbed my stealth and I hit some shots with stealth just to make sure I wasn't skewing from my baseline, so I understood what I'm working with my gamer. And stealth, kind of the same thing. I wasn't swinging it any faster. Launch was pretty good, spin a wee bit high, but I think that's just a lot of me just hesitantly staying on the right side, especially indoors. This last one here is a very good indicator of that. Just stuck on the right side, high right spinner. That's the shot I don't like, and that's what I'm trying to get a golf club that allows me to minimize that but still maintain my ball speed and keep my spin low when I hit that miss on the golf course. I've done my best to get this thing as dialed in for me as I can. This thing is as dialed in for how I'm swinging it right now. So let's get on the golf course and just see what they do, because at the end of the day, if you only care about the numbers and what a YouTuber says about the numbers, you probably aren't buying a new driver. You want to see what it does on the golf course, and if you can do what you want with a new driver on the golf course. So let's go to the golf course. It's a beautiful evening at Southampton, so let's hit this driver out on the course and see what I can do with it and if it's good enough to go in the bag. Man, that thing was hit pretty like high off the toe, higher flight than I wanted, but that went a lot better than I thought it would. I thought that was gonna kind of knuckle out of the sky. The sound is definitely different. It's titanium, it's not carbon. Very different sound. So in my current state of golf swing, my miss, my flies, I just kind of hang back on it, float it out to the right. And the last like match I played against Brett, I hit these just high floaty spinners. I did it in the first Route 66 as well. Like I need to, obviously my swing to improve, my action to improve, to start kind of getting through it, getting to the left side better, flighting a little bit lower. But at the end of the day, you don't have your best stuff a lot of the time, and it's what a club does when you don't have your best stuff. And that there, I was surprising. That was I thought it was going to be kind of one of those weak little high floaty toe ones, and it really wasn't. That was impressive. This is a perfect time to put them head to head. Made a few swings, feeling okay. 11th hole, into the face, the breeze is up. Typically I could just kind of get really aggressive here up the left side, maybe even try to take it over that bunker. Whereas today with a bit of breeze, I got to keep between the bunker and that 150 stake. Want to keep something low, something not spinning. I mean, my swing, I don't necessarily feel 100% confident that I can execute, but if I have equipment that helps me do that, if I don't make a good swing, that goes a long way. See, like that's just my ball flight, just this kind of high fade right now. Felt good, just would love to see a little bit of a low piercing draw. Those are about carbon copies of each other. So let's go up there and just see where they are. See, this is the one thing, and this is the reason why I've never done club reviews on YouTube, and I feel like it's just not something I can want to do, because you can watch reviews and you watch someone hit it and go, oh, these are what the numbers give me, and like that's great. Every club that comes out every year, it's gonna give good numbers. You get the right shaft in there, the right head, the right loft, like you're gonna get good numbers. Like that's fine and dandy. Like that doesn't really matter. That's not golf. At the end of the day, me doing a video about this driver, it comes down to if I'm gonna put it in the bag or not. If I wanna play with it. You can watch someone on YouTube review every driver under the sun. What they play with, I think, speaks volumes to what they think is the best driver on that given year, what they have the most confidence in, the most trust in. So I can stand up here and tell you all the good things, and that's why on YouTube you see a lot of review videos where it's just like, this is really good, it's really good, it's really good. Yes, it's the year 2023, every driver that is made is really, really good, but it comes down to, what's the best one when you make a bad golf swing? What's the one that you love to look at? What's the one that you feel the most confident that you can do what you want with it? And yes, if it's in your price range, yes, all those things matter. And does it sound good? Does it feel good? That's the most important thing. Just watching someone stand in a launch monitor and get it launching at 10 to 12 degrees, spinning 22 to 2400, and seeing how much they carry it, and it doesn't matter to you at home. What matters to you at home is this driver going to be very playable for me? And that's what I'm hoping to see, because if I deem this driver playable, I'm going to put it in the bag. Here's Stealth, so right down the middle, kind of right where I wanted it. There's one of the Srixon drivers, whether it was the one that I just hit or one that I hit prior, because I forgot to hit record. So I did that segment twice. Those were both Srixons, kind of the same little heel of center, spinny, there they were. There was Stealth, and then I did basically for the same shot 4 times. Back here was my first Stealth. It just kind of floated up into the wind because I didn't hit it well. So like, take that for what it's worth. When drivers are good and fit for you, generally speaking, they're gonna do the same thing pretty often if you have a relatively repeatable action and miss and shot pattern, swing path, all that stuff. But it's how good is the bad. And there was 2 bad spinny ones and 10 more yards. Like that's something. So let's just keep pressing in and let's keep trying to see if we can make better golf swings for what this does for us. That one was really good. I mean, I'm hitting it well. Hitting it off the center of the face pretty consistently. Little cutty, but it's consistent AF. Like, there you go. That's a pretty consistent flight pattern. You watch the tracers. They all ended up in the same spot.
Now let's go play downwind and see what happens.
Just kind of piggybacking on what I was saying earlier, there are some channels on YouTube that do an incredible job showcasing what golf clubs can do. And those channels have access to like a shaft matrix, they have club fitting, they are fitters themselves, so they can really tell you everything you need to know about a golf club. That's where, if you want to learn about the specs and what it can do when fit properly, there's incredible videos for that. But a lot of just kind of people like myself, if we're to make a review, the club company will send you a driver with a shaft. If the shaft doesn't work for you, then what do? You're not going to get the numbers that suit your action. And the hazardous, that's not a shaft that really works for me. I could make it work, but that's not a very realistic video. So luckily, I had a shaft option that is a shaft that really works well for me, and I'm able to get something out of it. But it's going to take me some time using this driver, comparing it to my gamer, playing with it, adjusting it to see if it's something that I will put in the bag. And that's the most important thing. Okay, we've turned the corner. We have some wind helping on this risk-reward par 5, where a good drive can give you a good look at reach the screen in 2, but that high floater that I like to hit will hit you in the water. So, let's see what happens. Caught that one thin, but I liked it. It held on, it covered the water. There we go. That thing was hit well. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I need to start swinging hard again. Lost a lot of speed over the last, let's say, 12 months of inactivity. Oh, that's an aggressive line. I don't think that's gonna cover. Too aggressive. I could do that in the summer 2 years ago, not right now. So to go back on like the thing I said in the garage, let the world know what you think. I think it's a good driver. I really do. I really like the look of it. I don't love how it sits open. It sits open because I think their drivers are all draw biased, except for this one. There's adjustable weight in the bottom that can kind of change the grams in the toe and the heel and it already is set to a little more weight in the heel to let the toe close a little bit. I don't like how it sits open, and because I've bumped down the loft, that makes it sit even more open, so I don't love that. But the sound I've gotten used to. It sounds so different than carbon, but I mean, you're seeing it. Every shot tracer is like the same thing, just this small little fade. It's a very, very consistent driver. I gotta swing faster. I gotta start getting a little more tank in it, gas in the tank to hit a little bit further. But yeah, I like what I'm feeling. I think I'm gonna keep it in the bag for a wee bit and just see how I can perform with it out on the golf course. So let's play the 18th hole and call it a day. Damn. That was summer. That was summer line. Got that thing to the 100-yard marker over the corner. That was the best one of the day. Driver sandwich. Good thing you leave the flag in. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.